what many folks are finding today is that although they were very successful in effectuating their business plan, they put in the work, they boosted the cash flow, they've got increased NOI. Now it's time to, either, refinance or sell. And, really I guess on the refinance side for people who are looking to, hold on, what they're finding is that, they can be upside down on their loan.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Bursey. And today I'm joined by someone I've really been looking forward to chatting with, Adam Finkel, who's been making serious moves in the commercial real estate space. Adam is one of the leading commercial real estate finance advisors in the Southwest, helping clients source and structure financing for properties across the capital stack and across major asset classes. As Senior Managing Director at Marcus & Millichap Capital Corp., he brings more than 2 decades of experience and over $4 billion in originated debt and equity transactions. In addition to advising clients nationwide, Adam is a published thought leader whose commentary has appeared in outlets including Connect CRE, Scotsman Guide, Globe Street, and Phoenix Business Journal. Please welcome the man that fuels the market, Adam Finkel. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thanks, Scott. Pleasure to be here. I've been looking forward to it.
I think our audience is really going to take something away from your ability to translate the language of money into clear, actionable strategy. Let's dive in, shall we?
Sounds good.
So first off, for people who may not be familiar with your story, your world, what's been going on here recently in your world?
Sure. Well, I joined Marcus & Millichap as a senior managing director for their Phoenix office. Recently, I was actually joined here last August, and prior to that, I had my own boutique commercial mortgage banking company based in Phoenix called Tower Capital. I had that business for about 10 years, did, just in that platform, over $3.5 billion in deals, financing, properties across, multiple asset classes, including multifamily, single family build for rent, hospitality, retail, industrial, office, and mixed use. And then, decided to join, Marcus & Millichap here in Phoenix, which is an incredibly prolific office. Marcus & Millichap provides me with, a lot of different resources, being a large public company, having that depth of knowledge and relationships, while also, having a very entrepreneurial mindset where I can kind of come in, and continue to run my business and grow my team and do my thing as I've always been doing it. Except now, I have more resources at my disposal, and also I'm able to collaborate with a really active network of investment sales professionals, both here in Arizona and really throughout the country. So, it's been incredibly exciting, and I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
Awesome. And what markets are you operating in?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Sure. So, being here in Phoenix, my bread and butter is, Phoenix MSA, Arizona, and then sort of going radially outward. So, I do a good amount of business in California, throughout the, Mountain West states, Colorado, Utah, also have, done quite a bit of business and continuing to do so in Texas, throughout the Texas markets, Austin, Dallas, the Sun Belt. So really, I go where my clients take me, and, active really, both here and in other parts of the country as well.
A wide array, we can safely say. So, what caught my attention about you, Adam, was the fact that you've been able to maintain a boutique advisor level touch while operating at an institutional $1 billion scale. That's not easy, especially in this climate. What's been the key to keeping your machine running smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it's just execution, and being able to execute for people and, being able to offer solutions to people, and help them really, navigating the capital markets, which is an ever-changing environment. I mean, it's, from one year to the next, it can change dramatically. And so, you have new types of capital, new lenders coming into the market. You've got people leaving the market. You've got new programs, coming into effect. You have, lenders have, different tastes of what they're looking for, and also really navigating, all the different changes with the different asset classes, because as we're in, there's a large market cycle, but each asset class is on its own individual cycle as well. So really helping people to understand, how lenders and capital is looking at, these deals and these markets and what their appetites are for. And, really what I do, Scott, is I really focus on getting a really uh, good understanding of what are the investment goals and objectives of my client. And then I take a look at the asset. How is the asset performing? And then I triangulate that with the best source of capital, whether that's going to be a bank, a credit union, a CMBS loan, a life company, a debt fund, private capital, and making sure, within those types of capital, which groups are going to be the most aggressive in, getting my clients what they're looking for. So, that's essentially what I'm doing every single day.
Makes perfect sense. Now, every operator I know has a moment where things got real. Maybe a deal that went sideways or a time that you had to pivot fast. You mind sharing one of those moments with us?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet, for real estate investors and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Sure. Well, right now you have borrowers, especially, if you're looking at multifamily, for instance, where they acquired, value add properties, let's call it, 2019, 2020, 2021, with a business plan to go in, do capital improvements, increase the cash flow, increase the value, and then, either refinance or sell. And, they put in the work, they boosted the cash flow, they've got increased NOI. Now it's time to, either, refinance or sell. And, really I guess on the refinance side for people who are looking to, hold on, what they're finding is that, they can be upside down on their loan. What many folks are finding today is that although they were very successful in effectuating their business plan, they put in the work, they boosted the cash flow, they've got increased NOI. Now it's time to, either, refinance or sell. And, really I guess on the refinance side for people who are looking to, hold on, what they're finding is that, they can be upside down on their loan, right? The in-place cash flow isn't able to support, the existing debt, even though they did everything that they needed to do because of external market factors. They're unable to kind of go to the next step. So, we're helping people pivot right now and find solutions on, how do I create, a cash neutral situation where I don't need to go to my investors for, a capital call. How do I solve this situation? So that's really, instead of going to some of the more traditional lenders, finding some of these non-traditional lenders that have more unique programs that allow people to, obtain more dollars. And, uh, you're starting to see more and more of those programs and those solutions coming to market. And so, we're helping people right now, looking at those types of opportunities so that, they can get out of their situation and move forward and, continue to effectuate their business plan, keep their investors happy and move forward. So, I've got several groups that, we're helping, do that right now.
It's incredible how the moments that feel like a disaster, Adam, in real time often become the foundation of the next 10 years of growth. And, honestly, that right there is the filter. It's what weeds out the dabblers and defines the investors who actually have the staying power to weather the cycles. Let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
Um, I think right now it's really wrapping my head around everything that's happening in the marketplace and all of the different, sources of capital that are out there because, the market and the environment is always changing and evolving, and just trying to keep up on that, is always a challenge, right? For me, it's, keeping organized, keeping on top of who's doing what, making sure I'm getting updated by, my various capital partners on, what kind of programs they have, how are they looking at things, how is their underwriting being adjusted to today's environment, and, making sure that, you know, I'm able to help folks navigate that and staying organized and, making sure that I'm staying in front of people is, really kind of top of mind right now. And, that entails, daily calls with lenders, that entails, making sure that I'm at, the appropriate conferences like, mortgage banking, conferences, you know, NMHC, which is a huge, apartment conference, and just making sure that I'm getting out there and I'm talking to the folks and creating relationships, with those lenders and those capital sources. Because, when they have broken bread with you and they've met you at a conference, when they've seen you in person, it really goes a long way in being able to effectuate the business, right? It's like whose deal are they going to pick up? Whose email are they going to respond to? Whose phone call are they going to respond to? It's a lot easier when you have a real connection with people. So that's something that I find that's incredibly important. It's not only my relationships with my clients, but also the capital sources as well, so I can bring the two together.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Being active to that degree is the key. What's your next major goal, the bullseye, if you will, Adam?
Sure. Well, Scott, for me personally, I'm working on building up my team here at Marcus and Millichap. Hiring some folks to help me, stay organized, effectuate my business, be most productive and be efficient, with my time, so that I can have a greater, outreach to the community, essentially.
That's huge. Now, the next move is where the leverage lives. It can either, perfect your operations, Adam, or detonate your workflow, depending on the strategy that you deploy. Interested to know, how do you maintain your edge when things are going well? It's easy to grind when you're broke, but how do you stay hungry when you're successful?
Well, that's a good question. I think you just have to kind of have that in you, right? You have to have a certain, you know, ambition and drive that's in you no matter what, right? Whether it's business is slow or business, you have a lot of business. You always have to be out there. You always have to be figuring out how you stay relevant, how you stay in front of people, how you stay involved in the community. Those things are so important. And I've got quite a few years left in me, in my profession. So, not looking to slow down anytime soon, but, really just continue to grow, especially under, the Marcus and Millichap platform, which is, a tremendous platform. And, really just trying to continue to, serve my, commercial real estate community here locally, nationally, and continue to be a resource for my clients at a very, very high level. Because there's a lot of folks that are out there that do what I do. It's a very competitive business, so it's really important to remain active and let people know what I'm doing. And that's why I participate in these types of podcasts, and I'm on panels for at conferences. And I try to stay active on my LinkedIn and, offer, valuable insights to folks, and really just, continue to let people know what I'm doing, and let people know what's going on, in the market.
We can safely say the fire is burning as strong as ever for you. Now, I know a lot of our audience is either earlier in their journey or looking to level up, Adam, and I think they'd benefit from hearing this from you. When it comes to building relationships and growing your network, what's made the biggest difference for you?
Well, I think that being involved in industry organizations, and community organizations, and, not only being a paid member, but, also really being involved, going to the events, joining a board, joining a committee, going the extra step, I think is really, really important. For instance, Urban Land Institute is, an international, you know, commercial real estate organization that hits, all different types of asset classes. And, they have a presence in most major markets. And I've been very involved in ULI here in Phoenix. And as a young man, I was, doing involved with different groups, and they have a thing called partnership forum where you get together and they've got a mentor. And, that really helped me create relationships with both my peers along with folks that were already really established leaders, in the industry. And, what I did was I was on the programs committee. And so I joined the programs committee, and I actually organized a local Shark Tank program that they would have at, their annual. They've got a big annual seminar called Trends Day here, which is, attended by hundreds of people. And so as part of that, we would do a Shark Tank, and where people would actually come and pitch their deals in real time to, a panel of experts. And it was very interactive, and it was a very successful program. And, that gave me a little bit of, credibility, in my local market here, that people said, "Oh man, that Adam Finkel, he's a real go-getter. Look what he did," right? And I actually created something, and I was effective in something. And so, that really helped me in the community here, and it helps to open up doors. So, just like I said, going the extra mile, not just being a paid member, but actually going and doing something that's going to set yourself apart, I think is, very important, and has helped me, with my career and grow my relationships.
That hits home. In an industry that's so transactional, being the person who actually shows up when there isn't a deal on the table, it's what creates that competitive edge around your business. It's that unsexy consistency that most people aren't willing to do. Interested to know as well, what does your stack look like right now? Is there one piece of software or perhaps AI that has actually moved the needle for your team recently?
Well, I could go on about AI for days. I think it's obviously revolutionizing how we work, and how, our level of production and efficiency. And it's something that is evolving so quickly. And I'm always trying to figure out, how I can utilize AI to help me, in the different platforms such as, Chat GBT and Claude and Gemini. And each program sort of has its own strengths and weaknesses, and kind of understanding, what you can use certain things for. And, I think, everyone is really trying to figure out right now, how do I best implement this technology into my day-to-day life, right? And so, I'm using it in a variety of ways, whether it's, helping me do research, whether it's helping me craft, better email responses, or, help me with my marketing or LinkedIn posts, or as just a sounding board where I'm bouncing ideas off it and talking through, helping me strategize. How do I approach, a certain deal or a certain situation, helping me to create, effective, marketing packages for my OMs. And then also you have, you can create your own, separate GBTs and, AI agents. And, I think it's just continuing to evolve. So, one thing that I've really noticed about AI is that you can have a lot of ideas about what you want it to do and accomplish, but then actually making it do that can be a different story, right? So, The idea of a lot of things is great, but then, how do you really implement it? And, it's really been trial and error. And there's been a lot of things where I've had an idea and I've been able to get 95% of the way there, but not quite 100. And if you're not at 100, it just doesn't really work. So, I'm really excited to kind of continue to explore how I can utilize it and implement it and just make me a lot more productive and efficient with what I'm doing. And ultimately, that's going to benefit my clients as well.
Well stated. All right, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out, connect with you, maybe collaborate or learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Sure. Everyone's welcome to email me at adam.finkel@marcusmillichap.com. You can find me on the Marks and Millichap website with all my contact information. And, I'm always available. Reach out, call me, text me, email me. And, I'd love to, always happy to chat with folks, share with, certain insights, what I'm seeing in the market, happy to take a look at their deals, their pro formas, give them, whatever thoughts on that. And, I love this stuff. So I definitely welcome, people reaching out to me, and I'm happy to be a resource in any way I can.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. We need more people in this space who are doing it the right way. Thanks again for being here. And for those of you tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Adam, who are out there building real businesses. We'll see you in the next episode, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.